This is the first cervical vertebra, and it's also called the atlas because I suppose, like Atlas, it holds up the globe, which is the cranium. So features that we can see here. So this side of the bone here, this is the anterior side. So this points forward, so under the chin, facing forward to the front of the body. And then this edge here is the posterior side, so facing backwards. So this is the back of the neck. And then we're looking superiorly, so this is the top side of this vertebra. So on this side, we have this little bridge of bone here. This is called the anterior arch. And this little bump anteriorly is called the anterior tubercle. On the posterior side of the bone, we have a larger posterior arch, which is this part of the bone. And there's also a posterior tubercle, although it's not particularly pronounced on this individual. It's more of a crease here in the central portion of the posterior arch. You can see there are two little transverse processes, one on each side. So here on the left and here on the right. And then in each of those, we have a foramen, so these little holes here. So the transverse foramina, which is plural, or transverse foramen, which is singular. So just in, medially from the transverse processes and foramina, we have these sort of bulky areas of the bone. This is called the lateral mass, so one on each side, so left and right lateral masses. So on this side of the bone, there are two joint surfaces, one on each side, and these are for the occipital condyles of the skull. So these are the superior articular facets. And then if we turn the bone over and look on the inferior side, we have two facets that are a little bit more circular on the inferior than on the superior sides. These are the inferior articular facets, which will sit on the shoulders of the vertebra directly underneath. And then we have one other joint surface on the first cervical vertebra, and that's this one here on the posterior side, the back side of the anterior arch. So you can see the circular joint surface here, and this articulates with the dens of the second cervical vertebra.